Have you taken the time to walk around your home and identify all of the valuables that you've collected, inherited, or purchased over the years? You may be surprised if you take the time to do so, as most people do not realize the amount of valuable items they possess. This is particularly important because the typical homeowner's insurance policy does not cover many valuables and has limits on the dollar amount and type of loss that can be recovered. The protection provided for personal property under the typical homeowner's policy is very broad and includes coverage of furniture, clothing, and appliances, as well as limited coverage for jewelry, silverware, furs, and firearms. It may not, however, cover important types of losses, including a diamond ring falling out, a broken statue, or a flooded basement that ruins an expensive computer. It is essential that homeowners with high-valued possessions purchase additional coverage to protect their valuable items in case of a catastrophic event, such as a fire or burglary. Most homeowners' policies set dollar limits on the amount of protection offered to cover theft of items such as jewelry and furs. Most homeowners' insurance policies have limits on the coverage for valuables such as only $1,000 for jewelry, up to $2,000 on firearms, up to $2,500 on silverware. And they may not cover through theft, accident, or natural disaster. One thing you could do is you could put a valuable items endorsement on your policy for as high as $50,000, which is typically enough for many homeowners, although others would require separate policies to have sufficient coverage. There may be some valuables that you have that are of such value that you really need to insure them separately. They may be jewelry, silverware, rugs, musical instruments, fine art, antique china, decorative items, designer appliances, furs, vintage wine collections, collectibles such as stamps, coins, glassware, cards, comic books, firearms, and some expensive computers. In this presentation, we will cover the importance of conducting a home inventory, the different insurance options for you, insuring antiques, insuring artwork, insuring jewelry, insuring collectibles, insuring your family heirlooms, insuring your electronics, and minimizing your risks. Unless you have a photographic memory, you really should conduct a home inventory. You should take detailed photographs of every room in your home. You should photograph your valuables against a white background. You should place a common household item next to the valuable as a size reference. Take photos of the serial numbers of your appliances. And you should store digital copies in a safe deposit box in your home and at your office, and also send them to your insurance agent to store in your file. Along with the photos that you have taken, you should have a checklist itemizing all your possessions, and be sure to include the following: a description of the item, the date you purchased it, the quantity of it, the current value of that item if you know it, the purchase price of that item, and the retailer where you purchased it from, location. Depending on how your policy is written, if you have a loss, your insurance company will reimburse you either on the actual cash value or the replacement cost of the item. Keep in mind that replacement cost allows you to replace the cost of yesterday's purchases at today's prices. that is, less your deductible. The actual cash value pays significantly less for your damaged or stolen valuables. And you must have proof of your belongings, like that checklist and video that we talked about. What exactly is the difference between actual cash value and replacement cost? Well, actual cash value is the value of the property minus the depreciation. And depreciation is determined based on various criteria accounting for wear and age of the item. Your insurance company will pay the depreciated value if you have a policy that is an actual cash value policy. Replacement cost is the value of property as if it were brand new. Your items will be replaced based on the value of other property that is made of comparable material and is used for similar purposes. Essentially, it will make you whole again. There are several options for you in protecting your valuables. Number one, you could take out a valuable items endorsement for furs, antiques, and jewelry. Sometimes this is called a scheduled personal property endorsement. And it provides coverage for many types of losses except nuclear explosion, war, and intentional destruction. You could take out a blanket endorsement for collections in which no one item is worth more than $2,500. And that would cover the entire collection at one agreed upon amount. Keep in mind that endorsements typically have a lower deductible than your homeowner's insurance policy. Endorsements generally include mysterious disappearance coverage, which is coverage when the cause of loss is unknown. Keep a keen eye on the value of items and collections. Since they fluctuate in value, adjust your coverage accordingly, preferably no more than every 2 years. If you are insuring an item that is breakable, such as china and statues, you should also make sure that your coverage actually covers breakage. When you have a very high ticket item appraised, make sure you use a specialized appraiser who has the credentials to back up his appraisal. Your jewelry policy should cover replacements with similar quality and types of items. And finally, to save a little bit of money, you might want to install a security system, as you may qualify for a discount. Let's review the options you have to insure your valuables. Number one, you have your homeowner's policy, but remember that may have limited coverage on dollar amounts and types of losses that can be recovered. There is a valuable items endorsement which enhances coverage by providing higher limits and expanded protection for special property. There is a valuable items policy, and that is essential for if you have extremely valuable or rare items. It provides higher limits of coverage. It covers more perils. Many times it provides worldwide coverage, and it can be expanded to provide loss due to breakage. There is also a floater. A floater covers one specific item that is easily movable. It can be an endorsement or a separate policy. If you are already covering valuables that you have, and you have some newly acquired property, there are Things to remember. Many policies insure up to 25% of total scheduled insurance for up to 30 days from the date of purchase. So if you have a schedule of $10,000, your policy will automatically provide you coverage for up to $2,500 for up to 30 days from the day that you buy it. For fine art, you may have up to 90 days to notify your agent. You need not notify your agent the moment that you buy a valuable item, but it is important to not delay because automatic coverage lasts for a limited time. Now we'll talk about insuring your antiques. You must have all antiques appraised, and you need to keep an inventory, a copy of the recent appraisal, measurements and photos in a safe place such as a safety deposit box. You need to hire a specialty appraiser with experience looking at items similar to yours. If you plan on taking your antiques to shows, consider a floater policy and worldwide all-risk coverage. And finally, notify your agent when you purchase a new item so it can be added to your policy. Insuring your art. Insure your art for as much as possible. Hire an independent art appraiser who can provide you with a statement of value. If you have sales receipts and authenticity information, keep them in a safe deposit box. Have your artwork reappraised periodically and adjust coverages as it becomes necessary. Minimize your risk of losing several pieces of art at once by placing them in different locations, such as a vacation home, an office, or a primary residence. There are things you need to know concerning insuring jewelry. Number 1, have all your jewelry appraised by a store or an independent appraiser. Have each piece listed separately with its value. Review your homeowner's insurance policy to determine whether the value of your items exceeds the built-in policy limits. Store your most valuable jewelry in a fireproof safe or in a safety deposit box. Have your jewelry inspected and reappraised frequently and update coverage accordingly. Many people have collectibles that are worth more than their face value, and homeowners' insurance policies have limited coverage of collections. Determine whether you need an endorsement or a separate policy to insure your collectibles. Have your collectibles appraised every 3 to 5 years and adjust the coverages. List your collection items separately on your policies. Assign each collection item a number for periodic inventories. There are some things that you need to do to protect your family heirlooms. You need to make a list of your family heirlooms that need additional coverage. Also, if the family heirlooms are jointly owned with other family members, you might want to split the cost of the policy. To determine the current market value of replaceable heirlooms such as furniture and china, use an antique pricing guide, or better yet, consult an appraiser. Make sure that you send copies of all your appraisal documents to your insurance agents. Photograph your heirlooms from various angles to establish their condition. If you have an heirloom that moves between family members or if you travel with an item, you need to purchase a floating insurance policy that is called a floater. And each item will require its own separate floater. While most homeowners' insurance policies have a significant amount of coverage for electronic equipment, you need to review yours to make sure that you do have the coverage to replace all of your expensive electronics. You need to keep receipts from when you bought the electronics. It might be helpful to purchase a computer insurance policy for your college student. Do not leave your electronic equipment in plain view. And again, consider installing a security system for added protection, which may also give you a discount on your homeowner's insurance. As a wise person once said, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. In this case, it means that you need to minimize your risk by taking precautions, such as always keeping your doors and windows locked to your home and car, replacing your door locks periodically. When you're out of town, make sure that your home appears lived in. You can place a hold on mail at the post office. You can ask someone to mow your grass or shovel your snow. Place your lights on a timer in the evening. Other ways to minimize your risk. Put valuable items such as jewelry, electronics, and collectibles in your carry-on when you are traveling. If you must remove jewelry when outside of the home, keep it in a secure place. Store valuable items out of sight when you invite guests into your home. If you have any questions about insuring your valuables property, your home insurance, your auto insurance, or anything else, please reach out to one of our licensed insurance agents. You can reach us at 706-416-4160, and you can find us on the web at www.twfggeorgia.com.